Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm an Ironman triathlete and a two-time qualifier for Olympic distance nationals. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to share with you a challenge that I recently completed. I completed a no alcohol challenge for 50 days. Now, dry January is really popular, and I believe the statistics are about a quarter of adult Americans opt to do dry January every year. So it's actually like cool to not drink, which is pretty neat if you think about it, because there are a lot of health benefits associated with being sober curious. So anyways, I wanted to give it a go because this channel is all about optimizing your health and your fitness and getting in the best shape of your life. And even though alcohol can be fun and a daily part of our lives, I wanted to see what it was like to just completely take a break from it for 50 days. So what are the benefits of not drinking for an extended period of time? Well, aside from giving your liver a break from processing alcohol, there are many benefits, and here they are. One, you're gonna get way better sleep. And as athletes, or if you are aspiring to be an athlete, it is really important to protect your sleep. It doesn't matter if you're 20 years old or you're 80 years old, your sleep is when your cells are restoring, your body is repairing itself at the cellular level. And if you do not have good and proper deep sleep, it will absolutely impact your life, your workouts, your mental health. So sleep is really, really important. Number two, losing weight. Now, a lot of people will tell you when they do dry January, they just want to get a kickstart on their health. And many people are looking to lose some of that belly fat or just that extra weight that is hanging around after the holidays. I was no different in this, although weight loss was not my primary goal for doing it, but it is definitely a benefit. Number three, by stopping drinking for an extended period of time, you actually decrease your risk of getting diabetes. And diabetes is on the rise in the United States, even in young adults. And so it's really important to keep the diabetes away. Number four, lower blood pressure. And low blood pressure is associated with health and wellness, and staying away from alcohol absolutely decreases your blood pressure, and pretty quickly actually. Number five, my favorite, lowers your resting heart rate. Now, everybody's gonna have a different resting heart rate average. Women's heart rates generally are higher than men's, even when they're resting. But one of the first things you're gonna notice if you quit alcohol, even after a week, your resting heart rate is going to go down, sometimes by 5 to 10 beats per minute. And that is also very connected to getting good, solid sleep. Okay, so how did I do in the first week? Was it hard? Yes. I am not a regular drinker where I drink a lot. It's not like a huge part of my life, but I would say that I'm a social drinker. And I do love a good glass of red wine, especially in wintertime. I actually own a mobile bartending business, and so oftentimes I have to like come up with cocktails for weddings and things. So, you know, alcohol is a part of my life for sure, like many adults in the United States. But I probably drank an average of 3 glasses of wine a week. So it wasn't anything that I thought was impacting my health. But I found out some interesting things, so stick with me here. So to set myself up for success on the first week, I felt it was really important to replace my usual glass of wine or cocktail with a mocktail. And if you are interested in different recipes, my favorite recipes, I actually made a video teaching you how to make some of my favorite recipes. Espresso martinis, a virgin spicy margarita. And the reason I did that is because I wanted something in my hand at the end of the night that kind of delineated, this is now the evening, work is over. I think a lot of adults, that is like their passage into nighttime when they can turn off the computer and unplug and relax a little bit. And normally a glass of wine or a beer goes hand in hand with that. So by swapping the glass of wine with a mocktail, this is just tart cherry juice and some sparkling water, you have something healthy and you're still sipping on something that feels relaxing. Okay, so in the first week, the thing that I immediately noticed was my sleep quality. And you'll hear this when people are doing dry January. It's very common for people to say, I slept like a dead person. And it's true. You are tired at the end of the night, especially if you're working out, and you sleep very peacefully. And so that was a really nice side effect of not doing alcohol for 50 days because I ended up waking up feeling very refreshed, which translated into better workouts. And I'll talk about the benefits that I really saw over the course of a month and then 50 days and whether I am going to continue doing it. So let's talk about the overall first month experience with no alcohol. Was it hard? Yes. Because I think if you're in social situations where everybody's having a glass of wine or a beer and you're like, hey, I would like a club soda with a lime, please. Sometimes there's a little peer pressure. Oh, just have that glass of wine. So if peer pressure is hard for you, I recommend having a proactive plan that you know what you're going to drink that night. Get yourself a club soda with a splash of cranberry juice. If anybody asks, you're sipping on a vodka with cranberry juice, right? I don't endorse lying, but I'm just saying it's for your health. But over the first month, I think peer pressure is probably the hardest thing. Although I would say make sure you surround yourself with people who support your goals. That's very important. But aside from that, sleep. Again, I know I talked about sleep. I'm going to say it again. It's worth mentioning. As I went through the month and ultimately the 50 days, my sleep data from my Garmin just showed that my sleep was getting better and better every single week. What are some of those markers? Well, my resting heart rate, right? My resting heart rate was about 5 to 7 beats per minute less than when I was just drinking a few glasses of wine a week. So the surprising thing to me about this was I thought I'm not enough of a drinker to actually see any difference, right? But there's a huge difference. My HRV status, that was the biggest surprise to me. My HRV status was the highest it's ever been. And the only change I really made was not drinking alcohol. So the HRV is going to be important because if you are doing your first 5K, it's important because you're going to be recovering. When you are training, your body is taxed physically, right? And HRV is telling you how your body is recovering. So by not drinking alcohol, your HRV improves and you're setting yourself up for success health-wise and fitness-wise. And lastly, I had patience. I'm not naturally a patient person. Surprise, surprise. My son was delighted that I had more patience. And again, I don't drink a lot, but I was very surprised that this is kind of a non-scientific outcome. I'm just measuring it intuitively on how I felt. But I just noticed that I was more relaxed. So in the evening time, instead of kind of staying up later with a glass of wine, vegging out, watching YouTube, because I had earned it that day after my hard workout and my hard work day, I went to bed. I read a book. My sleep hygiene was better at night. My process for going to sleep was better. And I think because of that, I woke up the next day more relaxed, more patient, and ultimately just in a better mindset. And of all the things, this was probably my favorite positive side effect. We live in a go, go, go world. I have a pretty busy lifestyle. And for me, this was the thing that got me hooked on being sober curious for a little bit longer. Did I crave alcohol? A lot of people ask me this. Yes. I love a good glass of Cabernet, and I did sometimes. There were a couple nights that I just had a stressful day, and my brain defaulted back to, you deserve just one glass of nice Cabernet. And this is also where that kind of Ironman mindset comes in because I'm like, no, like focus on the goal, one day at a time, right? Just one day. Because I could have had that one glass of wine. Nobody was going to know, but I would know. And that was going to ruin my experiment. So I did crave a glass of wine sometimes, but I did not end up having one, which I'm proud of. It was worth it. So why did I do 50 days of no alcohol instead of dry January or the popular 30 days? Well, I'm a glutton for punishment, and I, of course, am competitive. And so I'm like, well, if they're doing 30, I'm doing 50. No, that was part of it. But in reality, it really takes about 30 days to make or break a habit, right? So like, why would I quit when I just basically built a new healthy habit in my life? And also, as I've been going through my training, I really wanted to see, can I get to the next level fitness-wise by making this small tweak in my life? Is alcohol worth it, right? I'm in my 40s. It can, as a woman, it can affect my hormones negatively. There's all these negative side effects that can happen. And so for me, I wanted to just kind of go a little bit further. And honestly, I was feeling good. So I wanted to continue to 50 days. So am I still doing the no alcohol lifestyle? After 50 days, I did have that red glass of wine and I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I used to because I had this newfound alcohol-free glow about me. No, I have had a couple glasses of wine since then. And I really feel that doing 50 days alcohol-free completely like changed my perspective because I don't know if I've ever done that as an adult, like since I've been of drinking age. And so I would say I continued like 99%. So I think since the beginning of the year when I started that challenge, I think I've had 3 glasses of wine. And I feel really good. So I think I'm going to keep doing it that way. I do allow myself permission if there's, a celebration or something, maybe I'll have a glass of champagne or 1 glass of wine. But the days of me having 2 glasses of wine, I think are behind me because I feel too darn good to ever go back to having a few glasses of wine a week. So I hope that you will try this challenge. If you simply want to get healthier, if you are an athlete and you're just looking for that tweak, that edge, maybe you don't need that $1,000 piece of equipment. You just need to kick that beer habit, right? It's worth trying. I'm a big fan of science experiments on ourselves because we learn so much about ourselves. And I would urge you, if you want to do dry January, that's great. But what about the rest of the year? You're still trying to get in shape. You still need good sleep to deal with life stress. And you want to be the best version of yourself. There are so many sober, curious products out there. There are now alcohol-free beers and nighttime tonics that have, melatonin and CBD and all these things in it. I would say give it a try and try for 50 days instead of 30. You might be pleasantly surprised. So now it's time for you to start your 50-day challenge. I wish you the best of luck. I think you're gonna find out so much about yourself and you're really gonna enjoy it more than you think you will. And keep me updated. Drop a comment on this video. Let me know what you're doing. Are you using mocktails? How's your sleep? What are you most surprised about when you do this challenge? And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, rock on.